As we continue the walk to the cross, we now move deeper into the story. We have seen how sin entered the world through Adam and Eve. We have seen how God made a covenant with Abraham, showing that a sacrifice would one day be provided. We have also seen how the Passover lamb during the time of Moses revealed that salvation would come through innocent blood. But the question remained, who would be this Savior? When would he come? And how would he suffer? For these answers and more, come with me. Let's dive into part 3 of The Road to the Cross.
This is the road to the cross.
God did not leave his people without answers. Over many years he spoke through prophets, revealing more details about the one who would come to save the world. These messages were written hundreds of years before the birth of Jesus Christ, yet they described his suffering with surprising clarity. One of the most powerful prophecies came through the prophet Isaiah. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, he described a servant of God who would suffer for the sins of others. Isaiah wrote that this servant would not come as a powerful king that people expected. Instead, he would come quietly, humbly, without earthly glory. Many would not recognize him. Many would reject him. The prophecy says he was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows, familiar with pain. This tells us that the road to the cross would not be easy. The Savior would understand human suffering. He would experience sorrow, rejection, and loneliness. Isaiah also wrote something very important. This suffering would not happen by accident. It would happen for a purpose. He was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. These words describe the heart of Good Friday. The Savior would suffer, not for his own sins, but for ours. He would carry the punishment that belonged to humanity. Another prophet, David, also spoke about the suffering of the coming Messiah. In the book of Psalms, Psalm 22 gives a picture that closely resembles crucifixion, long before crucifixion was even practiced. David wrote words that sound like a cry from the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" He also described hands and feet being pierced, people staring and mocking, and soldiers dividing garments. These details point clearly to what would later happen on Good Friday. Through these prophecies, God was preparing the hearts of his people. He was showing them that the Savior would not only come to teach or perform miracles, he would come to give his life. The prophets also revealed that this Savior would bring hope not only to Israel, but to all nations. The promise given to Abraham that all peoples would be blessed would finally be fulfilled. This shows us something powerful. Good Friday was not a sudden event. It was part of God's rescue plan from the very beginning. Every word spoken by the prophets moved history one step closer to Good Friday. In part 4, we will see how the promise finally entered the world as the Savior was born and began his mission on earth.
This is the road to the cross.